Today, I will show you an AI agent that can go to a company website, find the files that we need, download and analyze them based on the prompt, compare the information from the files with the info that we have in our system, and then update our management software. This is an overview of the automation. We'll use Airtable as the management software, Make.com as the main source of all the automation modules, and then a few third-party softwares that will help us to manipulate the information. Here's how it looks. We start the automation from the Airtable. Agent goes to a company website, scrape information from the page, find the URLs of the files, then download and analyze the PDFs, analyze the metadata from the PDFs, then compare them with the previous results that we have from the previous runs, and then update the system. We built this automation for a client that offers SDS and label services for their customers. They have a software that stores a lot of the SDS and labels from multiple manufacturers. Their process was very simple, but really time consuming. Essentially, every 2 weeks, they have been going into the manufacturing websites, trying to find the updated labels and SDS. When they were found, they needed to click on them, find the updated date, and then update their whole system. We have been able to automate 80% of this process just because there are so much information available on manufacturer websites, as well as sometimes the date is not available directly on these documents. So it still requires some manual process, but we are improving the system every month to add new features like the metadata analysis. So let's say when the information is not available on the document directly, we are right now building the sequence where it will analyze the metadata of this PDF where it was when it was created and updated, and then try to match it with the info from the website. Again, this is not accurate in 100% of the cases, but it does make a difference when we are talking about huge volumes of data. This is how the automation looks on Make.com, and this is an actual management software on Airtable. This is actually a duplicate from the whole system, so that don't give you the direct access, but you can see that we have a product name, we have the last check date for this specific entry point, we have the product website link, and this is a manufacturing website. So for example, if you go here, you will land into a product page where you can usually find the label and the SDS. This is the label and the SDS for a specific product, and we have the product information here. Sometimes they don't display the product name, but rather display the actual manufacturing either number or EPA registration number. That's why when we are scraping the information from the page trying to find these links, we are also providing the registration number as well as the product number to the context, and this is all other information that we need. Actually, there are a bunch of fields, but most of them hidden. So let's go one by one. Once the automation starts from Airtable, we are sending a webhook to Make.com through this script. It's very simple. It's triggering the webhook, and we are passing the record ID. In Make.com, we receive this record, and we are trying to find the record through the Airtable module. We can obviously pass the information right away through the webhook, but when you are dealing with the files and the information that like links it's better to do that directly through make.com. Then we are doing two scrapes. Both of them are done with a software called Firecrawl. This is an awesome software where you can scrape the information in the format that is readable for is easily readable for the LLM model. So let's say we input the information here and we click run. We have multiple options. We can either scrape a single URL, we can crawl the whole website, or we can map the URLs of the website. And this is what we're going to use. As you can see here, we have the information in Markdown, or we can also have the information in JSON. But we are not using the Markdown nor JSON. We are using HTML. When you are sending an API request to Firecrawl, you can specify, sorry, this is actual Markdown, but it should be HTML. So you actually specify that this is HTML. Maybe, I'm not sure why maybe my developers put the Markdown, whatever. So let's keep it like that. So you can either scrape the information in HTML or Markdown. So once it's done, you can see here in data, this is the information from the website in the Markdown format. There are some links also located here. The next step is we are scraping the same website, but instead of choosing the format, which should be HTML and right now is Markdown, we are scraping only the links. So we have both links and Markdown. If you ask me why do we do both, in 90% of the cases, all the links will be available on Markdown, but sometimes it's not. That's why we are making sure that we'll get all the info and all the links that are available. So now we have the data in the Markdown about the website content with the links potentially and the direct links that are available on the website. Then we are analyzing this whole content, trying to extract information that we need. We need the files. So we need the file URLs. We use 3 prompts: user, developer, and the assistant. In the assistant, as you can see here, we're actually asking it to identify the URL and output it. But sometimes there are multiple products like this. So there are multiple products under the same brand, but multiple products with multiple SDSs and labels. But we need only one label link and one SDS link. That's why here we are providing the product name, which we got from the information from Airtable, the APA registration number and manufacturer number. Then we have the contact details, and here we provide the HTML as well as the website content in links. Okay. We're also, I forgot to mention that we're asking AI to output the JSON so that we can easily manipulate it afterwards. You need to prompt it to ask to output it in the JSON, and you also should include the response format as the JSON object, and we are not parsing it up. Now we are actually parsing the result, and I know what you can say that we should probably do it here, but we are actually have a middle step here usually in our finalized version. That's why we're doing that, but you can do it right away. So we have the SDS link and the label link here. Then we have a router. We have 4 routes. The first route triggers if the SDS link exists, right? So if this exists, then we go here. This is if the label link exists. This is if the label doesn't exist. And if this, so for example, this could trigger this scenario if the SDS exists, but the label doesn't exist. And this what also can happen. Sometimes here they will not display the labels, and the labels can also be accessed through the direct contact with the manufacturers, but the SDSs are available. Okay. And here, if you look closely, if the label is not available, we will update the Airtable through the record ID, and we'll put here somewhere, we should put it. here. So label error, no link found. So we have, as you can see here, we have a label error and we have the SDS error. Okay. Just as a quick note, this automation will be the updated version. The old version is available for free in my resource hub. There's a second link in the description. The updated version will be only available to my bootcamp subscribers. So if you go here, if you sign up, you'll get access to the Discord, and we have the templates library here so that you can get the updated version. And also, if you need help building something similar for your client or for yourself, or selling this thing, again, go check it out, 99players.com. This is my bootcamp where you can find all the information. Now, let's say that we do find the SDS link. The next step is to download the file, because we asked and prompt AI to output the direct link to the file. So if we open it here, it will open the direct file to the SDS spreadsheet. Okay, so here we are actually asking, to download the file. And then the most important step, and this is why the version 2 is different, we are using Llama parse to get the information. And to be completely honest, that was a suggestion from one of our bootcamp subscribers in the technical hub, if I find it somewhere. So the guy said that he was using the Llama and found huge success with it. And after we tested it out, it really made the difference in quality of the information scraped from the PDF. Essentially, this is a software that is primarily designed to scrape the information from the PDF. And you have a playground here, right? So you can specify a lot of the things, like the mode, how you would want to scrape in the information that you are looking for. It can do the CPS and all these things. You can also prompt it to output specific information. If you remember, we are, from these documents, we are looking for a revision date or updated date. So we just need the date. We don't need to get all this information, right? And here it's very simple. It's, as you can see here on the right. So we can ask Llama, that is using, the model that you would want, for example, for O-Mini, to only analyze the PDF and output the date. The problem that it is not perfect from our testing. That's why we're outputting the whole content and then separately asking AI to analyze it. Again, because we have more control over the actual analyzation process, because, for example, we have at least like 3 prompts there, and here we have only 1. Okay, and obviously you have all the temperature settings if you are requesting it through the API, but still it's not going to be that accurate. So here we are doing the parse request with the content, which is the form data, and we are uploading the file that was downloaded here in the basics4 format. And then we have all this information. Now we have a sleep module, which is 25-second delay. The thing with the Llama is that they are not outputting the information directly. So you need to start the process, right? And you will receive, as you can see, the ID and the status as pending. Usually the scrape will take 10 to 15 seconds. So we have it as a delay here. The next step is we are actually getting the information in the markdown format from the result, and we are mapping the result ID here. There is a break module, and usually we do have, and this is what I would recommend, to put the breaks module on for all of the, as you can see here, for all of the either AI processing requests as well as the API request, just in case something goes wrong, and it will be eventually, so it doesn't break the whole thing. So we are getting the information, and in case, for example, there was a delay on the Llama side and it took longer, it will retry it multiple times so that we can get the information, okay? Then we are using, I think, after the Firecrawl, the Llama, we are using the third app which is the Convert API. And this is the app that downloads the metadata from the PDFs. So you can go here, you can check it out. So they have a documentation. It's actually pretty simple because they have a lot of the APIs, and this is one of them. So you are uploading the file here, right? And you're putting the file name, whatever. So, and it will instantly return a metadata for this PDF. The problem is that it is in the base64 format, and in order to convert it, we need to use, for example, JavaScript. So this, we have a fourth app, which is the, I believe it's the Zero Code Kit, right? So this is the app that allows you to, here, this is the app that allows you to run different code, like natively inside, like Python natively inside Make. There are multiple softwares like this. For example, the Code UI, I think, is one of them. And you can check the one that you like, for example, Code Util. Yeah. So here we are running this script, and we are asking to convert it from the base64 to the normal thing. And if you look here, we have the creation date and modified date. These are the things that we want. Okay, so this from here, it will actually verify. Sorry, no, I was like giving you the actual like finalized scenario that will be like available to the bootcamp subscribers. So here, the next step is we are outputting the revision date from the document. And this is the most important step, right? So we have here the scraped information from the PDF. So we have the multiple prompts, and this is the main one where we are asking it to output the SDS document like date. Try to find it, because sometimes it can be like ref, revision, last revision. If you look closely here, it's like, again, it's super clear example. It's just the revision date. That's why it's easier here. And we're giving just different examples. The date can be in different format. It can be like this. So we are giving a lot of the examples. And at the end, we're saying, okay, so this is the SDS file content. And this is a flow for the SDS. If it goes for the labels, it does the same exact thing. It's just a different wording where we are asking it, instead of the SDS, it's like analyzing the label. It will do the same thing anyways, but it's just easier for the AI to understand what it's looking for. Okay. Then what I was saying is that in the final scenario, we actually have a router here where we verify if the result exists or doesn't exist. If it doesn't exist, it goes here and tries to find the modified date and compare the modified date with the information from Airtable, from the, for example, if this is the label, from here and from here. Okay. So, and that's why metadata is important. Again, as I said, it's usually not very accurate. So let's check right now. So the modified date is 2016-10-20. Okay. Let's actually see the revision date here. 10-20. Yeah. So as you can see, the modified date was newer, right? So it's technically, if we are looking for a newer date, we need to get this date, right? So it's because it's 10-20. But the problem is that this is the whole modification, and maybe someone did the modification not necessarily in the revision date, right? So it doesn't work in all of the cases, but this is kind of our last chance to find the info without this company, like the label as the company that we built it for, to contact the manufacturer. Okay, and then we do the router depending of if we need to keep the date, because we are comparing the date that was found with the date that we have inside Airtable. And if this date was found, we are essentially keeping, so if the dates are the same, we're outputting 1. If it's newer, output 2. If it doesn't exist, output 3, right? So in here it got an error for some reason, and here it keep the date just because the date was literally the same as the date in the document, right? So somewhere here. Okay, I want to mention one more thing. This is relevant for 90% of, maybe 85% of all of the websites. But we also have more complex use cases where the website requires multiple steps. Like if you go here, for example, you need, okay, so no, this is a bad example. Okay, let me go to the New York one. So let me open this one. So it's not loading right now. Okay, and this is also the problem that sometimes when we are kind of getting the information, when AI goes and the website is not available, it's not gonna do the thing. Okay, so this is also something that we need to deal with. Okay, this is an example. If you go to the Zap website, right, there is no product available here, so you need to first complete the CAPTCHA. And here we have a product number. So if we get this number and input it here, we completed the CAPTCHA and we click submit, it will show us the actual labels and we can open them and technically see. As you can see, the results are expired. This is also the problem that we are experiencing now. So how would we handle this thing? Because this is a multi-step sequence, right? Because we need to input the information first, and we cannot scrape the page here, right, to get the information from, like, on any other website, because there is no direct link available here. So we built a separate Python scraper that is hosted on Replit. Not gonna go over it, but in a nutshell, it's just going here, inputting the information into the SKU number, completing the CAPTCHA, and then clicking the submit. Once it clicks submit, it gets the latest version for the Zap is the US, yeah, so it's this version, the English version, the latest one, and it's downloading, and then it's launching literally very similar automation, but it just skipped this part and it's like launching one step, just because, for example, for the Zap, these are just, I believe, the SDS and not the labels. And we have this script running for multiple websites. Again, if you need the access to this specific script, it will be also only available to the 99 players. Okay guys, hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Peace.